Hello there! NASA recently launched the largest and most powerful space telescope in the world. The James Webb Space Telescope is its name. You can use this to do some time travel. I mean, you can't go back in time, but you can get a glimpse of history with this. And I'm not just talking about the last 5 to 6 years of history. This telescope can view millions and billions of years of history. 13 billion years to be exact. The universe began 13.8 billion years ago with the Big Bang, and this telescope can see back 13 billion years, around 0.7 billion years after the beginning of the universe. But how is this possible? Welcome back to Theory of Science. In today's video, we will look at how JWST looks into the past. So, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications. Let's go. As I told you, with the help of the James Webb Space Telescope, you can look 13 billion years in the past. The scientists expect that by utilizing this, they will be able to understand how stars and galaxies formed after the Big Bang. The Hubble Space Telescope could peer back just 1 billion years after the Big Bang, so around 12.8 billion years ago. The James Webb Space Telescope, on the other hand, can see 0.3 billion years after the Big Bang. Any light you see, from the twinkling of a faraway star to the brightness of a desk lamp a few feet away, takes time to reach your eyes. Fortunately, light travels around 670 million miles per hour. It travels so quickly that you don't see the light from the desk lamp. But, like with most things in the night sky, when we gaze at objects millions or billions of kilometers distant, we see light that has traveled a tremendous distance to reach us. This indicates that sunlight from the sun takes around 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. So, if you look at the sun, even if you shouldn't, you'll see what it looked like 8 minutes or more ago, not what it looks like today. Because the speed of light is so essential in astronomy, astronomers use light years rather than miles or kilometers to measure enormous distances in space. A light year is the distance that light can travel in over 1 year, which is roughly 5.88 trillion miles or 9.46 trillion kilometers. North Star Polaris, for example, is approximately 323 light years away from Earth. Looking at this star, you can see light from nearly 300 years ago. So, you don't need a fancy telescope to see back in time. You can do it with your own naked eyes. One thing that you can also see with your naked eyes is the red subscribe button, but makes it gray. But to actually see far into the history, astronomers need telescopes like the JWST. JWST can zoom into distant worlds and observe visible light coming from millions of light times down. But it can also pick up wavelengths of light that are unnoticeable to mortal eyes, similar to infrared swells. Numerous effects, including people, give off heat as infrared energy. This energy is unnoticeable to the naked eye, but when viewed with the right instrument, infrared swells can reveal some of the most fugitive objects in the macrocosm. Infrared radiation has much longer wavelengths than visible light, which is why NASA says it can pass through thick and fine regions of the macrocosm without being scattered or absorbed. Numerous stars and worlds are too distant, hazy, or unnoticeable to the naked eye to emit thermal energy that can be detected as infrared radiation. This is one of JWST's most useful tricks. Using infrared-sensitive instruments, telescopes can blink into fine regions of the macrocosm's history and study the light emanated by the macrocosm's oldest stars and worlds further than 13 billion times agone. This is how JWST captures its notorious deep field imagery, and how it travels further back in time to the first hundreds of millions of times after the Big Bang. The stars that the telescope reveals may actually be dead moment, but as those ancient lights begin their long trip across the macrocosm, JWST will just give our mortal eyes a unique sense of time trip. It's also theoretically possible to teleport to a planet 100 million light years away from Earth, if you travel 100 million light years away. On this planet, we're going to build a very powerful telescope, and we'll look at the Earth. But the practical problem with this is that it takes us much longer to reach other planets and look back on Earth than we can look back in years. If you can move, you will be able to see the history of the Earth, and you will actually be able to time travel. Additionally, it would be interesting to see the new planets that the James Webb Telescope is discovering. Can you find a planet in Earth-like conditions? A place where life could exist? The James Webb Space Telescope has the ability to capture the faint infrared rays emitted by the first stars and galaxies. What's next? For example, you can just use JWST to detect the temperature signature of a bumblebee far from the moon. But why bother with bumblebees? Did you know that Saturn isn't the only planet with rings? Researchers are interested in planets that are in the habitable zone. That is, it may contain water. It has the potential to completely change science as we know it. There are many mysteries in the universe, and James and his Webb Space Telescope could help solve them. This concludes today's video. Leave a comment below if you think you can see the beginning of the universe. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Click the bell icon to get notified of new and upcoming videos. Check out our channel for more interesting videos.